Well, good Monday morning to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for our Final Expense Monthly Monday for Monday, July 10th, 2017. My name is Matt Molina, and I'm one of the marketers here on the Final Expense side of the life insurance division here at URL Insurance Group. The monthly Monday webinars that we have are typically designed for agents who are already working with us on the Final Expense in the Final Expense marketplace. And this is for people who are already purchasing leads, or maybe you're considering leads. But I know we have a lot of new faces on these calls as well, or people who are trying to learn a little bit about URL Insurance Group and also what we have to offer on the Final Expense side. Here's what we typically do on a monthly Monday phone call is we have an agenda here where we'll go over some company updates, some sales tips and trends, some challenges and successes. We'll also open up some B leads for sale, leads that are kind of old, they're over 30 days old, and then we'll also open it up for any questions that you might have regarding Final Expense sales and discuss any challenges and successes that you may have had over the course of the past month or so. For those of you who are new to URL or you're looking to possibly do business with us on the Final Expense side, this is a menu of the carriers that we have for Final Expense. And it goes from AIG, they have a guarantee issue. It is limited, so not every brokerage in the country has access to it. We are one of the few that actually offers it. So AIG has a guarantee issue plan. It goes all the way down from the traditional life plans, traditional meaning level death benefit Final Expense plans, graded, modified. Most of these companies offer it, and we also offer top contracts as well. To get more details on specific companies, contract levels, and so on, feel free to contact me. You see our phone toll-free number at the bottom of the screen. It's 800-926-8875, and my direct extension is 141. You can also visit us on our website at urlinsgroup.com. On our website, speaking of that, we do have a Final Expense quote engine. The quote engine allows you to compare rates. It doesn't really offer anything in addition to it unless you want to pay for a subscription through the outside vendor that we use. But we've actually picked up the costs for you so that you are able to get Final Expense quotes at your fingertips without charging you any additional money and not passing along those expenses. All you would do is go to our website, urlinsgroup.com, and you would log in, go to quote Final Expense, and it'll take you to the quote engine on the right or on the left-hand side of the screen. It'll ask you to select the state, enter in the client's date of birth, male or female, smoker or non-smoker, the amount of coverage and level benefit, graded or modified, and then click on Get Quotes Now. That'll take you to this screen here on the right-hand side, and that'll give you a rate comparison. When you are selling Final Expense life insurance, you will find that the rates between one company and another, there aren't huge differences. A couple of dollars here or there per year is really all that there is. So when you're selling Final Expense, you're basically selecting companies that you want to work, that you would want to work with. And we'll go into some of our companies in a little bit of detail. We'll highlight one of our companies later on in today's call. Now, how do you get in front of people? A lot of people who are selling Final Expense participate in the lead program, whether it's through a vendor that we've kind of vetted here at URL or a lead vendor that you have in your own back pocket. A lot of people who are doing Final Expense have a lead vendor of some sort. With the lead programs that we offer mailers at $29 per lead. They are exclusive leads. You have a defined sales territory. The defined sales territory is basically by county, and we do not allow too many agents to work each county so that the leads do not dry up. So it's $29 a lead with a 20 lead minimum order. These leads are your leads. They're not going to you and a bunch of other agents in the area. They are your leads. Same thing with teleleads. Those are $19 a lead with a 20 lead minimum order. They're exclusive leads as well with a defined sales sales territory, and they are never resold. Again, they are your leads. So we are not taking these leads and giving them to you and a bunch of other agents to call. Now, we do help subsidize your lead costs based on your production. We get this question from time to time, and the question is, where do you find that you're getting most of your leads? And since we're based in central Pennsylvania, this is where URL is located, where the star is. You will find that we do have quite a few leads in this area. We also cover northeastern Pennsylvania as well as Pittsburgh, Allegheny County in that area. The DC, Baltimore, that whole area is also there's a bunch of leads there. If any of you are on the call today are in the Cleveland area, the Cleveland, Ohio area, Cuyahoga County, there are a ton of leads there. Not enough agents to work that. Also in the Carolinas, we do have some leads available there, as well as Atlanta. Once you get into Florida, it starts to dry up again. A lot of snowbirds, I guess, is probably the problem there. So that's kind of where the lead concentrations are that we've kind of researched here in the past to for ordering leads. So just some food for thought if you're considering purchasing leads. One of the complaints that we had with a lead vendor that we had prior to this new one is that the lead cards were so generic that when you went on a phone call, the clients thought that this was a free program. So this is a sample of a new lead card that we have. These new lead cards are now coming in for agents who are participating in our mailer program. And you will see that the card itself is very specific, that it is a program to pay for final expenses. It also mentions life insurance benefit, tax-free benefit. So people know that it is life insurance, it's final expense insurance, so it's a little more black and white. We went with a new lead vendor, no additional cost there. Again, $29 a lead, 20 lead minimum order, and we do subsidize those leads. So let me get into those details a little bit. The lead subsidies, for every $1,000 of annualized premium that you place in a month, we will give you $50 to apply towards your lead order. So if you did $2,000 in the month of July, you would have a $100 lead credit. And you can use it towards mailers, you can use it towards teleleads. It is up to you. If you are a Gemini agent, and we can get into the Gemini program if you have questions about that, but the Gemini program, for Gemini agents, instead of getting $50 for every $1,000 of annualized premium placed in a month, we will give you $80 to apply towards the lead orders. So for any additional questions, if you need any additional details on the leads and availability, feel free to give me a call. My phone number and my email address are on your screen right now. Company updates. Usually during the month of June, July, things get kind of stagnant when it comes to final expense. A lot of companies aren't making changes. They're going to be making changes in the near future, whether it's going to be before the end of the year, maybe taking place in the first of 2018. So we don't really have any company updates. So I wanted to highlight one of our top sellers when it comes to final expense coverage, and that's the company is Foresters. Who is Foresters? Well, Foresters is an A-rated company. They are very strong financially with over $14 billion in assets. They've been around for over 140 years. Now, they are based out of Canada, but they also have an office in New York State. They offer competitive final expense rates. They offer competitive compensation. And one of the reasons we're highlighting Foresters this month is that they also have really good rates for term life insurance as well. If you ever are writing a term life plan and you're doing you're comparing rates, you're going to see that Foresters has some of the best rates available in the marketplace. Right now, they're beating companies like Banner Life and Protective and others. So if somebody is questioning who Foresters is, maybe they were getting rates, or maybe a younger client was getting rates and maybe they need some final expense coverage for mom or dad, you have a story to tell. Foresters is a fraternal company, and what they do is fraternal companies don't pay taxes, and what they don't pay in taxes, they have to give back to the community and their members being their policyholders. Some of the member benefits that they offer, and this is more geared towards final expense, is college scholarships that are available. Grandchildren are included. As long as your client gets a policy of $10,000 or more in final expense coverage, their grandchildren can apply for competitive college scholarships. This is a way to play on the natural bond between a grandparent and a grandchild. With final expense insurance, you're dealing with clients that may not have a lot of money in the bank, and grandparents love the fact that they can help their grandchildren pay for college, and this is a way to do that. Through their policy with Foresters, their grandchildren can apply for competitive college scholarships. Foresters gives over 300 competitive scholarships, $2,000 scholarships, to over 300 recipients every year. They also offer well-being benefits. Those well-being benefits include everyday money. It helps people who are on a limited budget to live within their means, put together a monthly budget at no cost to them. They also have access to LegalLink. LegalLink will help them get in touch with an attorney in their area to help them put together wills and trusts and other things. They also offer a terminal illness loan. So if the client has a terminal illness, they can access their policy earlier than death to help pay for some medical expenses and so on. So those are some options that they offer through Foresters. There are a lot of other member benefits that are more appropriate or more linked towards the traditional life insurance, traditional whole life, universal life, and term, orphan benefits, and so on. If you want more details on that, feel free to give me a call and I'll go into that in a little more detail. But on the final expense side, the competitive college scholarships as well as the well-being benefits are a great selling tool. They also have a nice booklet that you can give to the Foresters policyholders that helps them keep important information that basically will help provide the family with some important information upon their death, like who their funeral director is going to be, what songs they want played at their funeral, what they want to be buried in, clothing-wise, that type of thing. So and also bank account information, account numbers, IDs, passwords, and so on. So that's some other useful tools that Foresters provides you during your selling efforts. I wanted to talk a little bit on tips on leads. With this new lead card that we're using through this new lead vendor, I'm getting some really good responses. Agents are enjoying this because they're going on into these appointments with the clients realizing that this is for life insurance and final expense. Now, with all leads, there are always going to be some duds, if you will. So for greater lead success, believe it or not, you will want to target lower income areas. People who have money in the bank, they probably aren't going to be in the marketplace for final expense because a $10,000 or $15,000, $20,000 funeral is going to be a drop in the bucket. So really what you're going to want to target are the lower income areas. I don't have access to know where those lower income areas. That would be up to you to kind of know the areas that you would like to order leads. Of course, you don't want to put yourself in harm's way, but you also want to be able to target people who are going to be in the market for a final expense policy. We do have appointment setting sales scripts that are available if you ask. Some of you have been doing final expense sales for quite a while now, so you know how to get your foot in the door. But if you're looking to get a sales script, we do have some sales scripts available for mailers. For dialers, the TeleLead company that we use offers and provides you free of charge a sales script on how to set appointments for teleleads as well. So there are sales scripts available. Just ask, we'll get them to you. We also have free leads that are available. You know, a lot of times if you want full commission, you can get free leads based on your production. So for about $8,000 of annualized monthly premium that you place, that would get you a free lead drop. The other thing is to take a reduction in your commission, and we will get the leads cost covered. When I say take a reduction in your commission, you're probably looking at around 70, maybe 80% commission versus 90, 100, 110, 120%. Again, it depends on the company and so on, but you can opt to take a reduction in your commission, and then leads could be covered, the lead costs could be covered for you. There are production requirements for that as well. Once you get your foot in the door, sometimes it takes a while for the client to realize that they need a final expense policy. Last month we provided these top 5 lead-in questions, and I want to provide them again for those of you that are looking to try and convert that lead into a sale. These are questions that you're going to want to have in the back of your mind that you'll want to ask to try and get somebody to realize that they need a final expense policy, or that final expense is a solution to a need of theirs. Question number 1, have you or someone you know ever been responsible for making funeral arrangements? If so, how did it go, and did it create any financial problems? You're basically asking them to review what has happened. If it didn't go well, what went wrong? Usually it's a financial issue. Families fight over money. So if the funeral arrangements and maybe they were limited by their budget and what they could afford for a funeral arrangement. So a final expense policy could be the solution to provide that money. Remember, a final expense policy is paid out upon death. It avoids probate and it avoids taxes. It's tax-free money. Question number 2, who will be responsible for your funeral arrangements when you die? And is that person financially prepared? Another question to lead into for the need for a possible final expense solution, or where final expense is a solution. Who will be responsible for your funeral arrangements when you die, and is that person financially prepared? It could be a son or a daughter, grandchildren or grandchild, or even a spouse. Speaking of spouses, question number 3, does your spouse have enough savings to protect against the immediate loss of your income? Perhaps the surviving spouse is working part-time. Maybe they don't have the money to be able to retire fully, or maybe there's medical expenses or whatever. Either way, upon the death of the loved one, a husband or a wife, the surviving person, do they have enough money in the bank to protect them against the immediate loss of income? Question number 4, are you aware that bank accounts and assets are not available to your children immediately upon your death? This would basically be for people who are already, their husband or wife has already passed on, and they have a son or a daughter or children that would be taking care of their funeral arrangements. And they would think that the bank accounts would be able to pay, or the money that they have in their bank account would be enough to pay for a funeral. The problem is that bank accounts are locked and not readily available to their children upon their death. Again, a final expense life insurance policy, or a life insurance policy in general, they get paid to the beneficiary tax-free, and avoids probate. And then last but not least, a very direct question. If you don't take out a final expense policy, what alternative plan will you use for your family? Again, a final expense policy is not for the the insured, so to speak. It does give them some peace of mind, but it's really for the family. If I can be of any assistance in helping you with your final expense sales, that's what this call is all about. Let me know. I'd love to be able to help you out. Here are some B leads and what we have available in various counties in this region. Again, B leads are leads that are 30 days old and older. Now, some of these are going to be on the old lead card, so they're not going to be as specific. But for $15 per lead, there is no lead commitment necessary. If you do participate in our regular getting the exclusive leads, we do ask for a lead commitment. But for this, we don't have any lead commitments required as a requirement, but you do have to be contracted with URL, and you have to be contracted with some final expense carriers. But in Pennsylvania, we have 4 leads in Adams County, 40 in Carbon County. We have 2 in Cumberland, 2 in Dauphin, 7 in Lancaster, 40 in Luzerne, and 17 in Northampton. So if any of you would like to try out some leads and get your feet wet, dip your toe in the final expense marketplace, let me know. We can get you those leads. It is on a first-come, first-served basis. In other states, Charles County, Maryland, we have 5 there. Prince George County, I think we actually have closer to 30 leads now in the D.C. area. Anyone in North Carolina, we have 20 leads there. And Montgomery County, Virginia, we have 20 there. Again, if you're interested in these leads, contact me. They are on a first-come, first-served basis. We have some important dates coming up here. One of the things that URL prides itself on is its training and keeping you in the loop. On Wednesday, July 12th, so this coming Wednesday, a day after tomorrow, we will be doing a seminar here, be hosted by our Life Markets Department, myself and Steve Clemens. It's called Making More with Medicare, and it's going to be some useful cross-selling techniques that you can use for any of your Medicare clients to help broaden your horizons and broaden your clients' horizons as well. So that's Making More with Medicare. It's July 12th here at the URL offices in Harrisburg. It starts at 8:30 in the morning. We'll have breakfast and coffee and donuts and stuff like that. The meeting should last until about 10:30 at the very latest. So come in if you're in the area. Please register. Love to have you come out. For those of you that are not in the Harrisburg area, we are going to be doing Making More with Medicare. We're doing a webinar. It's going to be on Thursday, July 13th, and that's at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So this coming Thursday at 11 a.m., if you can't make it to our seminar, join the webinar, Making More with Medicare. Again, it is we'll be discussing cross-selling techniques. The top 5 lead-in questions is part of that seminar. There's a lot more useful information in there. So if any of you are in the Medicare market, this webinar is directed specifically to you. On September 6th at 8 a.m., we have our Medicare Connections Conference. That's at the Hershey Lodge and Convention Center. You'll want to register for that. Medicare Connections is for people who are looking to get into Medicare or into selling Medicare, or you're already in Medicare. It's going to be where they're going to be giving you the updated information going into Medicare season. It is right around the corner. And then on September 7th, I can't believe we're talking September, 8:30 a.m. URL's Leaders Conference. Again, that is at the Hershey Lodge and Convention Center. This is where various carriers from all of our departments across the entire company here will be represented, and we'll have breakout sessions and it's a great way to mingle with some other successful agents in the field, as well as getting some sales ideas, learning some new sales concepts, and learning more about some different products that are in the marketplace. It's designed to help you become more successful. So save those dates. Love to see you come out there for those upcoming events. So here's an open forum. What are your challenges and successes? What have you run into in the past month or so? If you're looking to get into the final expense marketplace, what can I do to help you get started? Are you running in any underwriting snags? What are you noticing in the field? And ultimately, what can URL do to help you significantly grow your final expense sales? Give you a few minutes to type those questions, or if you want to raise your hand and you've put in your audio code, I can unmute you and then you can ask your question aloud and I'll try and answer that the best I can. If it requires some research, I'll give you a call back at the end of the presentation today. So while you're typing those questions, here are 6 steps to final expense success. When you get into the person's home and you're sitting down, or you go to their front door, warm up, ask the person for maybe a glass of water, or if they have coffee perked, have a cup of coffee. Whether you drink it or not, that's up to you. But warm up to them, kind of talk to them just about basic information. Just, learn a little bit if they have any grandkids, learn about their family a little bit. Let them talk about what's important to them, or topics that are important to them, which is them and their family. Number 2, discuss and introduce the importance of final expense. What does final expense do? Now, with final expense sales, it is a budget-driven sale. So you're not selling a death benefit. You're selling what the client can afford. So estimate their final expenses. What do they need? What can they afford? Offer payment options that meet their needs. That's number 4. Number 5 is to close the sale. And number 6, this is the one that is the most important one, is once you've closed the sale, if you're relying on leads cost money, ask for referrals. Referrals are free. So there's just some sales tips on final expense success. Let's see if we have any questions that have come in here. Rich, first come, first serve, so you got them for Adams County. Thank you very much. If anyone else has any other questions, please let me know. And otherwise, you can give us a call. Here's our contact information. It's 800-926-8875. My extension is 141. The Vice President of our Life Markets Division is Steve Clemens. He's my boss. He's at extension 132. And this is a wrong slide. Our next monthly Monday meeting will be coming up on Monday, August 7th. Monday, August 7th. Love to see you there. And of course, you have access to us throughout the month as well, or throughout the week. Just give us a call. We're here to help you out. We want, for those of you who are participating in our lead program especially, we want you to see exponential growth in your sales. You're spending money on yourself. You're investing in yourself, and we want you to be able to capitalize and maximize your lead marketing dollars. So if you have any other questions, or if there's anything that I can do, feel free to give us a call. We're at your service. 800-926-8875, extension 141 or extension 132. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Let me see if we have any other questions coming in. I think one just popped in. Okay. Dave, I'll give you a call after this call. All right, that should do it for now. Again, thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who are working with URL, thank you very much for your business. We look forward to working with you in the coming months. And if you do, again, have any questions or comments, feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.